Welcome back to Warming the Bench, a podcast about your favorite movie, The Benchwarmers. You got J-Dog with my fellow hosts, Big Head and the Spoon. You boys ready to talk Benchwarmers? We got Rob Schneider, we got David Spade, we got John Heater. Discuss.
Well, in this episode, this time we watched it, I noticed something new, which doesn't happen very often. I noticed that John here forgot to strap his helmet on one time, and that made me really scared that his helmet was going to fall off, and I couldn't think about anything else the rest of the movie, which helped me get through the movie, which was good.
Thanks for the input, Big Head. What do you have to say, The Spoon?
I'm really glad you specified Rob's last name. I thought Rob Walker was in this movie.
How many times have we watched this movie?
You need to show some respect. This movie has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What? It does?
You know this. You're part of Warming the Bench.
That's bullshit. I'm gonna kick someone's ass. Is this Rob Walker's fault?
Yes.
That's
Rob Walker starring in Benchwarmers 2. That came out this year.
We're all gonna go fucking take over Channel Awesome.
Can we start watching that instead of the first one?
That's a real thing, though. I was looking up Benchwarmers facts for this, and I saw that there's a Benchwarmers 2 that was straight to DVD that came out this year.
We have to get it. We're doing that tonight. Hell yeah.
Tonight?
I can't bear another episode of watching the first one again. We need to get the second one.
Okay.
Okay, Big Head. I get what you're putting down. The Spoon. What do you got to say about Benchwarmers 2? Excited?
We're watching it tonight.
Are they the same actors?
No.
I
Well,
don't care anymore.
Mel's still there, but...
Which one's Mel?
Mel, he was the billionaire.
Oh.
The subway guy that wasn't Jared.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
John Levinsky? John Lovins? John...
Oh, God, I'm not sure.
Is it the greasy guy?
The greasy guy.
One with a kid that is a bad kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought the Gus Bus with his millions of dollars.
Oh wait, he had the Knight Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
The movie was sweet. See right there, 5.5 out of 10, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, 25% on Metacritic.
That's really cool.
Benchwarmers 2 had a 4.5 on IMDb and was apparently refused to be reviewed by the other websites.
What?
I can only find IMDb.
Jeez.
Is it out already? When did it come out?
It came out in January. Benchwarmers 2, Breaking Balls. 4.3 out of 10. 91 minutes running time.
Oh. It does have John Lovitz.
Yeah, John Lovitz.
Okay.
John Lovitz. Who does Adam Sandler play in the Benchwarmers? He doesn't play anyone. He doesn't play anyone.
You haven't looked at the full cast of Benchwarmers 2 yet? He could be in this one.
I really don't think he is.
He's the writer.
He's just
Well,
John Heater's
Happy
character.
Madison was Adam Sandler's company, and Benchwarmers.
True.
Happy Madison produced Benchwarmers.
True.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll love the synopsis for Benchwarmers 2, Breaking Balls.
Oh.
After a freak accident ruins a guy's chances at playing professional baseball, he joins a competitive softball league for lawyers.
Oh boy, lawyers. Very funny.
Personally, I can't wait to see Benchwarmers 2, Breaking Balls. It looks spectacular.
I'm excited to see the part where Adam Sandler's down on his luck in the middle of the movie, but then someone helps him out.
I hope that Limited Run Games releases a physical copy so we can watch it.
John
I hope
Lovitz,
it's a red box already.
John Lovitz reprises his role as Mel Carmichael.
Whoa. Mel funds them again.
And he's the only one that's in both movies.
I don't believe it. Surely someone's in it besides John Lovitz.
Chris Klein, Chelsea Reese, Lachlan Munn, Garfield Wilson, Elizabeth Bob, Lisa DeRupt,
I can't believe John Lovitz paid for this movie in real life and in this movie when he paid for the baseball team also.
Remember that iconic moment when he said, "If you build it, nerds will come."
Yes.
Milford says people calling her the MILF This is an obvious reference to the American Pie series. Chris Klein, who portrays Ben McGrath in this movie, portrays Chris Ostraker in the American Pie series.
Is there nudity in the Benchwarmers too?
I hope. They only have one song on their soundtracks, and it's I Want It All.
How ironic.
Yeah, it released January 29th, 2019.
This is a crime.
It was filmed in Vancouver.
It's not even an American movie.
Well, it was released in America, but the filming was in Canada. I guess they couldn't
mutiny.
find any barren wastelands.
Whoa, why Billy Hargrose from Stranger Things looks so familiar? Click on that one.
I don't wanna. Thank you guys for tuning in for another exciting episode of Warming the Bench. We'll be back next week with more Benchwarmers trivia. Stay tuned. This is the J-Dog, Big Head, and the Spoon signing off.
Why am I the spoon?
It's funny.
You're the spoony. You're the spoony one.
Change the podcast.
Change the theme.
The spoony one.
Disclaimer! Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to find or mess with the authors featured on our podcast. They make what we do possible, and we love them. And you. Thanks. Enjoy.
Welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfiction for your listening pleasure. This week, we're joined by the real-life Simpsons. Homer, is that you?
Hey, I'm Homer.
Speak up.
Hey, I'm Homer.
Great. Carry on.
Doe.
Thank you.
Whoa, Homer.
Hello.
This is really bad podcasting.
I'm Homer.
I'm glad you could make it.
Doe.
I hope you like fan fiction, Homer.
Fan fiction.
Wow, this is going great. Too bad Blueberry couldn't make this one. I'll just have to deal with Homer.
With the real Dan Castellanetto painted yellow, doing yellow face.
Like he's doing yellow face, he's really in the zone.
Those damn yellows don't know what's coming.
Now he's doing an impression of a racist yellow face.
You're yellow.
It's funny because I'm yellow.
Oh, that's true.
Thanks, Dan.
Alright, fanfiction, Simpsons, very funny, haha. I'm gonna read one now.
Wait, what's everybody's experience with The Simpsons?
I am a Simpson.
Sorry I asked.
am the Simpson.
I have watched a lot. I used to have a couple box sets that I would just watch on loop on my PC when I didn't have internet, when I was like 10. I've seen season 10 specifically probably 100 times.
Is that a good one?
They go to Japan, and Homer walks up to the hotel room, and he has paper doors, and he goes, ooh, and then he throws his suitcases through the door into the closet.
The door was really scary.
And then he walks through the other door into the bedroom, which I always thought was really funny because he just instantly ruins every wall in the house.
And clumsy.
That's a classic scene. I like it very much.
Are you finding your story?
Yeah, I haven't cleaned out my favorites in a while.
Me
And
neither.
there's absolutely no order into which fanfiction keeps your favorites.
Yeah. Like, very similar. I just caught, like, the reruns when they do the 24-hour Simpsons marathons and whatnot. I will say that Simpsons actually gave me my first like quality existential crisis because I saw the episode Going Gaga when it first premiered, and I didn't know what to think of it because I was like young. I was like, well, it's The Simpsons, so it has to be good writing. But then I grew up and I realized, no, this is fucking the worst thing ever.
Oh god, that episode was so jarring.
It was. I didn't know what to think of it as a kid.
I saw it as a kid. I think we saw it maybe again at south of Philly when we were there. We saw some Simpsons episode there that was like really messed up.
All I particularly remember seeing Simpsons at a restaurant was that one like couch gag where there was like the 80s knockoff.
Yes, that was south of Philly.
That was cool. Okay, I found mine. So I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Chapter 1. Years ago, when I was still in Mobius before the portal sucked me into Heroville, Sonic said.
Damn it. Damn.
What's wrong?
This stole mine. Shit. That was the only good one, too. Fuck.
You better find one fast.
Do you think Sonic has a yellow stub nose?
Maybe. There was a hidden Chaos Emerald, but it was the most powerful and yet darkest out of all the Chaos Emeralds. It was called the Dark Chaos Emerald, and me and the Freedom Fighters tried to keep it away from the hands of villains, and we did. But ever since after the portal put me in Heroville, I was wondering if Sal and the rest of the Freedom Fighters still have the Dark Chaos Emerald, or if it was sucked into Heroville too. Oh well, I might find out later. Well, that was fun to listen, SpongeBob said. Homer yawns and drinks a can of Duff beer and looks at Sonic. That was boring, Sonic. You need to make better stories than that, Homer said.
Yes, Sonic. Fuck off. I'm trying to have a brewski with SpongeBob.
I thought it was fun to listen to Sonic, Smurfette said. Thanks, Smurfette, but I am not making that up, Homer. This really happened in Mobius, Sonic said. I don't know if Homer qualifies to live in Heroville. Or Smurfette. Or SpongeBob.
We're all heroes.
Heroes in their own right. I don't know about that. I might believe it if Lorcan tells me it, Homer said. Wait, where is Lorcan and Yesenia? Yoshi said. Kenny, Pace, and Marie. Who are all these characters?
What the
I
hell?
feel like them introducing characters infinitely.
Kenny, Pace, and Marie look up and smiles, and Sonic, SpongeBob, Homer, Yoshi, and Smurfette look at them.
When is Yoshi alright?
It's Tom Kenny.
Hey, Kenny, Marie, Pace, why are you smiling, if I can ask? Homer asked. You know Lorcan and Yesenia? Kenny asked. Yeah, why? Homer said while drinking his beer.
His cartoon hero beer.
Yeah, why? This might sound weird, but Lorcan and Yesenia are married, Marie said. Homer spits his beer out of his mouth, and Sonic, SpongeBob, Yoshi, and Smurfette look at them in shock.
But they were gonna say all get covered in beer.
He spat at them specifically. I hope Pie Man is in this story.
This is just one of those like Cartoon Network commercials where all the characters exist in a town.
It is.
What? But I thought they were brother and sister, Sonic said. I had a crush on Lorcan ever since I met him, and we were friends at the beginning, Yesenia said, walking in. So you two were not brother and sister at the beginning? SpongeBob asked. No, SpongeBob, we were not brother and sister when we met, Yesenia said.
Okay.
Are you now? Are you married to be brothers and sisters?
Legally brother and sister.
I now pronounce you brother and sister. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Because she was married to another hedgehog when we met, Lorcan said, walking into.
I just remembered I watched all of We Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and I do not remember a single moment.
It's cool. It's about marriage. But me and Brave broke up months and months later. Me and Lorcan loved each other so much that we decided to be together. But on Saturday, we have our wedding in Mobius, and ever since on Saturday, I love Lorcan so much, Yesenia said.
Ever since we got married, I love her so much.
Well, congrats, you two, Sonic said, smiling. At least you found a girl you love more than Harley, Homer said. Me and Harley are still best friends, and she was happy for the both of us in our wedding day, Lorcan said.
Homer's so normal compared to everyone.
Homer spit out his beer and is now fine.
Just slouching on his couch while this happens.
So I take it that you and Harley have been friends again, huh? SpongeBob said. Yeah, don't worry, she has a boyfriend, so me and Harley are recovered, Lorcan said. I wanna hope you're happily married, whoever Harley is.
They're OCs.
Well, that's great news, you two, Sonic said. Ooh, by the way, Lorcan, is there a Dark Chaos Emerald in Mobius? Homer asked. Oh,
wait a minute.
Homer said he would believe it if she said so.
Homer's gonna take over the sovereign nation of Mobius.
To use chaos control.
Homer's gonna grab all of his fellow beer drinkers and take over a small nation of Mobius.
The 7 world beers.
7 beers in hand.
In one hand.
Oh, we used to have it until, for what I heard, a portal sucked it in, Lorcan said. So it is true, Homer said. I knew it, Sonic said. However, the heroes did not know that their rival, Evil Homer, was listening to everything they are saying.
Homer says, wait, isn't there an evil Homer in Mobius?
An evil?
Why would that even be a threat?
I guess it's because, like...
Homer's already pretty evil.
Is this like in the Archie comics, the evil fucking movies?
Sure, I don't care.
It's Homer in a leather jacket and shades.
Homer in an Organization 13 jacket.
But it's drawn by Matt Groening.
It's Homer in a Dr. Insano costume.
We gotta get this Dark Chaos Emerald so that we can take over the world, Evil Homer said to his friends, Evil SpongeBob, Evil Sonic, Evil Kenny, and Evil Lorcan.
At least Scourge is there.
How are we going to get this Dark Chaos Emerald? Evil Kenny asked.
Evil Tom Kenny.
And evil SpongeBob.
Yeah, his voice actor and also him.
Do you think that Lorcan is telling the truth? Evil SpongeBob said. It could be made up. It's real, okay? Evil Lorcan said. How do you know? Evil Homer said.
Now Evil Homer's doubting it?
You're the one that broke the news. I seen it once in Princess Sally's Dad Kingdom, and maybe the portal that sucked the heroes to here must have sucked it here too, because while I was on my date with Wilma, the guards said that the Dark Emeralds have been stolen, but I know that the portal sucked it in, Evil Lorcan said. Evil Lorcan's dating Wilma from Flintstones. Wilma. He is telling the truth, guys, Evil Kenny said.
I don't want to meet Evil Fred.
I like to imagine that evil. I like that these are all like. I like to imagine these are all like small cartoon characters, and Tom Kenny's like 4 feet taller than all of them. He's like bending down to talk to them.
His realistic self, and like everyone is in their original art style. So fucking Wilma is in the 2-frame Hanna-Barbera.
Tom Kenny is presented in PNGs that move, like Flash. Imagine how easy to take over this world would be if I had the Dark Chaos Emerald, Evil Homer said.
Oh my god.
Dark Chaos Emerald. Well, after some research I did, Evil Lorcan said while walking to a computer and sits down, I have found the location of the Dark Chaos Emerald. Where is it? Evil Homer said. Evil Homer is plotting behind everyone's back.
This is just gonna be Kick-Assia with Evil Homer and the gang.
Homer wearing an M. Bison jacket. Oh, great. We gotta go to where that knucklehead lives. Oh, wait, I skipped the part. In a hidden room in Angel Island, Evil Lorcan said. Oh, great. We gotta go to where that knucklehead lives, Evil SpongeBob said. And our robots are low of power, so they can't fly us to Angel Island, Evil Sonic said. Don't worry, that two-tailed fox that has plane. Wait. I'm getting too into Evil Homer's character.
That two-tailed fox that has plane.
Don't worry, that two-tailed fox has that plane. We will steal it to take the Dark Chaos Emerald from Knuckles, Evil Homer said.
Who's gonna fly it?
You guys can go without me, Evil Lorcan said. Yeah, we understand why, Evil Lorcan, Evil SpongeBob said. Don't worry, we won't hurt Wilma and Miley when I get the Dark Chaos Emerald, Evil Homer said.
Miley?
Thanks, guys, Evil Lorcan said.
Who's Lorcan?
Thank you for not hurting Wilma and Miley. And then Wilma and Miley comes in and looks at the villains. I'm gonna assume it's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Same.
Another PNG like Tom Kenny.
Hey guys, Wilma said. Hey Wilma, we just are going to get something, so see you later, Evil Homer said.
Bye.
Bye, bitch.
Oh my god.
I promised not to hurt you. I really wanted to. Evil Lorcan smiles and looks at his wife, Wilma. She has red fur, green eyes. Okay, so not Flintstone Wilma.
Oh my god.
She has red fur, green eyes, purple dress, and purple shoes. And Miley, their daughter, has red fur, but her quills are black, and she is wearing a bright blue shirt and black shoes. Hey,
They're
sweetheart,
Sonic
Wilma said. Hey, baby, Evil Lorcan says and kisses Wilma, and she kisses back. Hey, Daddy, Miley says. Hey, Miley, Evil Lorcan said. Anyway, we will be going now, Evil Homer said. Bye, Evil Homer, Wilma said. Evil Homer, Evil SpongeBob, Evil Sonic, and Evil Kenny leaves the Evil Homer's lair and is smiling evilly.
I thought they were watching from the bushes.
Oh, he just had like a stethoscope to a wall or something.
Oh.
I found plenty of images of Wilma the Hedgehog.
Pretty cool. That one looks kind of like it.
Yeah, I like that one.
That second one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Maybe that's the
No, I
real
think he
one.
means this one because he said like red. Oh no, it's not. You're right.
Yeah, like purple quills, she said?
Yeah, then that one has red hair, right?
Yeah, that one has like crimson hair with like, purple highlights.
That's the real Wilma.
It is.
Oh. Chapter 2. Yesenia and Smurfette walks outside and talking about things and their husbands. So are you and Lorcan planning to do something together? Smurfette asked. Well, I want to tell him something, but I am kind of nervous, Yesenia said. You're married! What do you have to be nervous about?
I watch Kid Icarus videos.
I liked Kick-Assia. I thought it was very well put together. Why? What up? What up? Smurfette asked. Well, please keep this as a secret, please, Yesenia asked. Okay, Yesenia, so what do you want to tell Lorcan? Smurfette asked. Yesenia put her hands on her stomach and looks at Smurfette, and Smurfette looked at her. You are pregnant? Smurfette said in shock. Yes, with 2 twin daughters, Yesenia said. Well, that's great to hear. Besides, I think Lorcan wants to be a father anyway, Smurfette said. Really? Yesenia said.
She waited so long that she knows that they're twins and their genders. Jesus Christ.
How does Smurfette know that and she doesn't?
Right.
They just got married last Saturday.
Had premarital sex.
Ah! Yeah, he'll be happy, Smurfette said, smiling before noticing the villains are walking down to Tails' lab. Just noticing them, like, oh, it's the villains.
Oh, it's Evil Homer.
It's Blackface Homer.
Barnacle. Blackface Homer.
Is it like the darkness where it just has rings, or are we talking legit fucking blackface?
He's covered in soot.
No, up here is like that ashy gray color, but then his lips are yellow.
I thought you were gonna say they were red.
No!
Oh my God.
I'm not explaining blackface. You get the picture. You racist.
They're just gray skinned.
He's ashy.
No. They're gray skinned by choice because they proclaim evil. So really it's just seen as blackface by the community.
They're just trying to live their lives. They were deemed evil because of the way they look.
Oh yeah. They wake up and they cover themselves in soot. And then get mad when other people call them evil.
They're born from the ashes of the fan fictions that created them.
They're doing that to differentiate themselves from the other parallel Homers. And Sonic and whoever else.
People just assume because they try to make themselves look different that they're evil. The real good Homer wouldn't do blackface.
It's not blackface. It's how evil Homer looks. By choice.
I'm not bad. The artist just drew me this way.
What is it, Smurfette? Yesenia said. You stay here, Yesenia. I need to see what the villains are up to, Smurfette said, taking out a ninja sword and hides in a tree, seeing the villains discussing their plans. She's like an inch tall.
Is his lab outside?
He has like a hangar.
Huh.
If you're going off of Sonic Adventure lore.
True.
So our plan is to beat Tails up, take his plane, make Knuckles tell us where the Dark Chaos Emerald is, and take over Heroville? Evil Kenny said. I think Angel Island could have more people there, like to call or shade, Evil Sonic said. Well, with our new version of Metal Sonic being built by Plankton, that knucklehead and his stupid friends will not beat us, and we'll make sure that it will destroy Sonic and friends for good, Evil Homer said.
I just imagine this middle-aged man in a t-shirt plotting against the world.
With these creatures. And I'm assuming Kenny from South Park, because I don't know any other Kenny.
Tom Kenny.
Evil Tom Kenny.
Wearing a black t-shirt. Also, Plankton is building a new Metal Sonic like he made Metal Mr. Krabs.
No! Oh my god.
Drat!
You'll never beat our new and improved Metal Sonic. Looks like junk.
It's beer cans.
Can barely walk.
Self-automated self-destruct.
Can barely walk. Can't keep up with Sonic at a walking speed.
Ravioli, ravioli, give me the emerald oli. Not on my watch, evil Homer, Smurfette said, hopping down the tree and gets her ninja sword and prepares to fight, and evil Homer starts smirking evilly.
Evil Homer's gonna eat that bitch.
She is.
No.
She presents him a sword and he just like poses like a Persona character.
She is like 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
Ooh, Smurfette, you useless Smurf's ninja skills will not stop. What?
I thought he just straps in. I thought he was just gonna say, you're worthless.
Oh, Smurfette, you're useless.
You useless Smurf ninja skills will not stop us from taking over the world, and now have a taste of something shocking from a robot, Evil Homer said, pressing a button, and the new version of Metal Sonic appears with Plankton on his head, and Metal Sonic shoots a laser at Smurfette, and Smurfette dodges, ready to stab Metal Sonic, but he grabs her sword, breaking it, and Metal Sonic smirks. He doesn't have a mouth!
True.
You will not defeat me, foolish Smurf, Metal Sonic said. Smurfette umps toward Metal Sonic, getting to rip his head off, but Metal Sonic grabbed her leg and slams her to the hard ground hard, and Yesenia watches. Stop hurting her! Yesenia yelled. Metal Sonic points his laser gun at her, but Lorcan suddenly appears and cuts the laser cannon from his hand out. Leave my wife alone, Tin Can! Lorcan yelled, and Evil Homer and the rest of the villains leave with Metal Sonic and Plankton following them, and Sonic and friends appear and Sonic hugs Smurfette. Are you okay, Smurfette? Sonic asked, getting worried. Yeah, I'm fine, Smurfette said. Yesenia looked at Smurfette and Sonic and thinks about something. Smurfette, can I ask you something, please? Yesenia said. Sure, Smurfette said, and walks to Yesenia. What is it? Should I tell Lorcan about, Yesenia said. Now?
You?
She just got slammed into the ground by her leg. And you're making this about you? Evil Homer was just here.
He was standing there watching the display going,
Excellent.
dead baby.
Yesenia didn't get slammed.
Okay.
Smurfette's not pregnant with Sonic's babies yet.
Okay.
Yesenia got slammed in the other sense.
Not every woman is made to be baby fodder. Steven. You badger sexist.
There are no characters in this story that are doing anything.
Evil Homer is plotting.
Evil Homer is the main character in this show.
They almost tiptoed into Tails' lab in broad daylight before someone spotted them.
I love this Saturday morning cartoon that we're listening to.
It's up to you, Yesenia, Smurfette said. Yesenia looked at Lorcan, getting worried and nervous, and walks to him. Lorcan, can I tell you something? Yesenia said. Sure, dear, you can tell me anything, Lorcan said. Okay, Yesenia sighs for a few seconds. And then starts to talk. Yesenia stops talking, getting scared and worried. Lorcan then hugs her and rubs her stomach softly and whispers to her ear.
I know.
We're going to be a family, aren't we, baby?
Welcome to the family, bitch.
I like how evil Lorcan already has a family and good Lorcan doesn't. Yesenia nods and Lorcan kisses her lips, and Yesenia kisses back for a while and starts to talk again, not nervous or scared anymore.
While they're kissing.
And it's two twin girls, but what should we call them? Yesenia asked. We'll figure that out later, Lorcan said. We gotta stop evil Homer and the rest of the villains from taking Tails' plane, Sonic said. That's the end. That's all that's been here.
Aww.
Specifically stop evil Homer from taking Tails. He could find another plane.
I mean, Evil Homer's gonna steal and inevitably crash his plane. He probably worked really hard on and spent money on.
Well, gentlemen, would you like to give that story a prominent rating?
Oh god, I give that. I need time to think, you guys.
I rate that story 0 quotation marks out of 10 because there wasn't a single one to be found.
Rate that story 0 plankton lines out of 1. Plankton.
1% evil, 99% hot gas.
He rose on the robot, which then abused the small woman, and then
The 2-inch
descended.
tall woman with a sword that threatened Homer Simpson, a near 6-foot monolith.
Homer Simpson said, "Die." She
He
perished.
looked down at her and said, "Die."
I give that evil Homer calling a Smurf worthless to her face out of 10.
Nani?
Nani?
Nani? That was very fun. I wish there was more.
Okay, I want to go.
Okay. Give us all you got.
Story begins. Maggie woke up in a dark room. She was attached to a strange device, and there were a jar full of strange liquids suspended by wires to her right. A television standing a few feet away from her turned on by itself. A rather frightening puppet with a pale face, greasy black hair, and sporting a tuxedo appeared on the TV.
Oh no.
Maggie's binky dropped out of her mouth and bounced across the floor. The puppet slowly turned to the frightened toddler and began talking in a deep voice. Hello, Maggie Simpson. I want to play a game.
I was gonna do this one too.
Maggie began clapping her hands and smiled.
She's like one.
I can't believe both of you took
She
both
committed
of my options.
egregious crimes
Oh,
to
she shot
humanity.
Mr. Burns, that's right.
She did shoot Mr.
That would be
Burns.
funny.
She had malicious intent.
Ever since you were born, you've been nothing but trouble. You always take your father for granted. You never talk when you know you can, and you tried to murder countless people. If you want to ever see your pitiful family again, you'll have to play my game.
She's not cognitive.
Your pitiful family, Jesus Christ.
Maggie's smile vanished. Every word was like a kick to the chest. Speaking of
Kick
that,
to the 1-year-old chest.
the device attached to her began to hurt. This is a trap I call the angel trap, or the ribcage harness.
No, not that one! Oh no!
The device will pull out your ribcage. You have exactly 1 minute to break free. In order to earn this freedom, you must plunge your hand into the jar of acid to obtain the key resting at the bottom. Live or die, the choice is yours. Let the game begin.
She's a baby.
This is one of the rigged traps from fucking 3. This one's rigged. She's gonna die.
No, Maggie's smarter than that.
Maggie deserved it.
Maggie's too small to fit in there. She'll slide out.
Ineffective.
Maggie heard a device click and the timer overhead begin to count down. Epic Saw theme starts playing. She tried shaking free, but the device only crushed her chest. Maggie knew there was only one way out. She quickly dove her hand into the acid and pulled it out. She began to scream and cry in pain as the acid started to dissolve her hand. She reached in again and grabbed the key, but the intense pain wasn't over yet. Her whimpers turned into wails as tears ran down her face. The acid dissolved her hand down to the bone. Only a few small chunks remained on her bony hand. Maggie sniffed and started to insert the key into the lock. She heard a sickening crack as her hand fell off. Maggie screamed. Her helpless wails echoed throughout the entire warehouse.
I hate this.
The key and the remains of Maggie's hands fell out of her reach. She tried screaming, but she was... Okay, this just gets too graphic. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the next one. This one opens with, "Aw man, I sure hate Lisa with a passion. I'll make sure she suffers." Lisa woke up in a dark room. She shook her head to find out if it was a dream.
Is Bart
But
the
it wasn't.
mastermind?
Oh no.
Lights above her lit up at that moment. She looked around to find herself attached to a strange device. Her arms and legs were hooked up to cold metal contraptions. She was stuck in a bathroom. It didn't look right at all. Lisa shrieked when she found a severed foot chained to the wall. Lisa then rolled her eyes. "Funny joke, Bart. Now let me out." An audio tape was actually in her hand. Lisa pressed the play button. Cautiously, the same grisly voice that had spoken to Maggie left a message. "Hello, Lisa Simpson. I want to play a game."
Deeper.
I can't. "I'm too old to play games. Just let me go." The message continued. "For countless years, you have been ungrateful for living in a caring family. You were always being a smartass who crams your disappointment down
This is Bart.
everyone's throats.
Honestly.
You will meet a similar fate our sister has if you fail this challenge, or your sister has." "Wait, what did you do to my sister?"
What did you do to my 1-year-old sister? She is a baby.
"The device you are in is Oh, fuck.
I killed her.
The device you were in is fuck. He drops it.
Drops the cue card.
Is called the twisting crucifix.
Oh no!
It will slowly and painfully twist each limb off. How you escape? You can't. It was impossible. Live or die. The choice was yours. Let the game begin.
Live or die. There is no way out.
The tape ended. Lisa dropped the tape. Help! Help! Anyone there? Epic Saw theme starts playing. A rusty spike impales Lisa's hands and feet. Lisa's plastic shoes broke off and fell.
Plastic.
Someone's just so funny about that. Plastic.
Her orange plastic shoes. Blood squirted from her palms, staining her orange dress. Lisa gritted her teeth in an attempt not to scream. I can't be the weak one here. I'll show this man that I am not weak. Lisa's arms began to rotate, but she began to scream and cry in pain. Bones in her upper arm began to snap. Let's scroll a little bit. Anyways,
Keep skipping.
it just gets really unnecessarily graphic for like
yeah,
You
paragraphs.
don't want to think about the Simpsons' yellow bodies being crumbled.
They're made of plastic, Elias. It's okay. It's not real.
Okay, so hold on.
Does she escape?
This one actually does go somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, blood squirted out in all directions. Lisa screamed a bunch more times. Her once white pearls now look like bloody kidney stones, and her spiky hair hung over her forehead. A television lowered from the ceiling and turned on by itself. It showed the hideous clown puppet. Lisa, too weak to lift her head, looked through her bangs to see the puppet. Lisa breathed heavily through her nose and sniffed, tears rolling down her blood-coated face. Do you feel death now, Lisa? Do you now know the many pain good people have suffered? Lisa huffed. You are not a good person. You are just jealous of my intellect. Even with the cold hands of death grasping your soul, you still insist that you are strong. You are not strong. Your intellect is what got you into this. And if you don't admit this, you shall meet a grisly fate. God'll make sure you burn. It was the darkest thing Lisa had ever said.
She doesn't believe in God.
She's Buddhist. What the fuck?
The puppet shook its head. I am your god now.
Can the puppet shake its head? Does it have that?
Yeah, I
Probably.
mean, like,
I haven't
it's a
seen
marionette.
the movies, but I just like to assume it's a marionette, so it just
Yeah, like
shakes
Yeah.
its whole body.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
No, because it in some scenes like rolls in and turns its head towards the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. On its little tricycle.
Yes, it's funny tricycle.
I like in Scary Movie where there's just two of them for some reason. It's like, dude, she's gonna do it. What?
I am your god now. You have sealed your fate. Prepare to die. Television turned off. Lisa's legs began to rotate. Kill me! Somebody kill me! Lisa wanted the pain to end. They like combine the traps here, and Lisa dies very gruesomely with several traps that come from the ceiling.
What the fuck?
Who's next?
Bart awakened in a grimy bathroom strapped to a chair,
Great.
and he had a strange headgear attached around his skull.
Oh
He blinked his eyes to make sure it wasn't a dream. Bart noticed that a scalpel was tied to his left index finger. The boy looked around the room, and to his right was a television that blinked to life on its own. The same puppet began to speak. Bart tried to speak, but that was impossible. 4 metal hooks were wired into Bart's jaw. Hello, Bart. I
Just
want to play a
imagining these
game.
Drawn by the Simpsons guys.
Yeah.
You've broken the law quite a few times. For years, you've caused some people torment.
Is it Chief Wiggum? Hello, Bart. You've broken the law many times.
I already killed your sister. Damn know-it-all.
Now it's time to torment you the way you tormented them. The device on your head is called the reverse bear trap. You have 2 minutes to escape it. How? You have to break your hands. Once you've broken enough bones to slip out of your straps, Take the scalpel and cut out your left eye to obtain a key, which will unlock your head. How's he gonna do it if he breaks his hands?
Right.
Live or die, the choice is yours.
Does he really name all of his funny contraptions?
He does.
That's funny.
Like sort of. Like the names given to them are just like ways he describes them. Like the reverse bear trap, he said it's almost like a reverse bear trap. He doesn't necessarily like name it that.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Let the game begin." The epic saw theme plays, and then Bart sighs. He knew there was only one way out of this.
Played this song 3 times.
Bart leaned back as far as he could and bashed the front of the headgear into his wrist. Bart groaned in pain. He took a deep breath and smashed his hand 4 times. Each time, a sick bone-crackling noise occurred. Bart sobbed as he slid his shattered wrist out of the strap, and he untied the other. He wobbled out of the chair, with both hands free. Bart clenched the scalpel in his hand. He drew a deep breath and jammed the scalpel deep into his eye.
Wait. Can you break your wrist and still, like, move your hand?
That's what we were saying.
no
Like,
idea.
probably not.
I feel like if you, like, snap that, you can't really, like, get much
This
out
is-
of that.
Yeah, this is like combining a trap from like the what was it, the second film?
It's the very first one is like the bear trap, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. So like it's that combined with like 3 where they're all rigged to where
Oh
you
no,
can't do it.
never mind. Because the first one's all takes place in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Probably the second or third one.
Hmm.
They said this one was in a bathroom.
Yeah.
That's true, but no, because like the first one's a good film because it's all one trap in the bathroom, and it's like all a single like room basically. There's some
Right.
parts where they like cut away, but
Yeah.
it's good because it's like one mysterious trap basically that you kind of unfold as you watch the movie.
You remember when Rich Alvarez made Saw 8?
Oh, that's right. Fucking hell.
Was it official?
Yeah. Check it out, everybody listening. Rich Alvarez, Saw 8, YouTube it.
I'll put it on right now.
Anyways, Bart screamed, not intentionally in pain, but at the fact that he stabbed the wrong eye. The key was in his left eye, not the right one. Bart pulled the scalpel out, his hands soaked in blood. Bart started to become nauseous. He stabbed his other eye. Now blind, he dug his fingers through his eye socket and pulled out the key. The key fell out. Bart heard the key drop. He began to freak out, trying to find the key. Bart did manage to find something, but not the key. His eye. Feeling in his hand made Bart throw up. And then a buzzer went off, indicating 20 seconds remained. Bart yelled and mangled, "Help!" He tried to feel around for a door window, but no prevail. The time was up. Bart's head exploded. And then back to the TV monitor in the location where the tape was filmed. Billy was set down from the chair, and the ventriloquist revealed himself. Sideshow Bob!
Oh, of course.
He began to chuckle evilly, thinking about how he finally got his revenge. So now he could live in peace for the rest of his days. Thanks for reading. I know I need help, but I just had to get my pure hatred for Lisa off my shoulders. Let me know if you guys want me to kill Marge or Homer.
Let me know if you want me to kill other Simpsons.
I have that power. I am God.
The comments are cool. Fuck you. Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Fuck you.
Still vomiting.
Jesus Christ almighty.
There are a lot of comments on this.
Brilliant work, as always.
Somebody else said, I hope you enjoy your strike. I'm assuming that's like a report.
Yeah. I rate that story 6 Saw movies out of 10.
I rate that story. Lisa's the only one who deserved it out of 10.
I rate that story, Saw talking to a baby that doesn't understand what he's saying out of 10.
It's true.
Jigsaw.
Christ almighty.
Jigsaw says, you deserve this, baby. And the baby just goes, eh?
You crushed baby ribs.
Oh, God.
Steven, I hope you found a third alternative.
You asked for this.
What do you mean I asked for
This
this?
is what you get for playing the game of chance.
You picked this category.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Bring it on.
Inside of the hangar of the orbital zoo above one of the many gem-controlled planets, a recently arrived ship finally rested against the floor.
I love Steven Simpson.
Yeah. The ship's ramp lowered and stopped not too far from a blue gem. She stood at attention, waiting nervously for the passenger of the ship to come out. The door opened and a giant woman, covered in yellow clothing top to bottom, stepped out onto the ramp and down towards the blue gem. "Well, Holly Blue, I made it, despite your directions," she spoke with an annoyed sigh. "Ah, Yellow Diamond, welcome," Holly Blue greeted the towering diamond. "I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable presentation." The blue gem stepped to the side to allow Yellow Diamond to station to the diamond's
I don't like
hallway.
the implication of Yellow Diamond.
As
Are
the-
they here for the...
As Yellow Diamond gave a small noise of disinterest as she entered, Holly Blue followed close behind.
As Yellow Diamond says, "Doe, can you get me a duff?"
The Simpson Diamond.
Stop making that face.
I'm so mad. Oh my god.
The two arrived into the diamond's room where the towering leader took a seat. Holly Blue kept walking into a connected room. However, once the smaller gem entered, she gasped in shock at what she had seen. Her captive was gone from his holding cell. "Oh my stars, my captive prisoner is gone!" Holly Blue exclaimed in distress.
Is it Homer?
The electronics of the cell look as if it had been tampered with, leaving the computers fried, sparking, and smoking. But then an idea came to Holly Blue's mind as she looked at a door that connected to Pink Diamond Zoo. But what if, she asked herself, I were to take one of the organisms from Pink Diamond Zoo and pass it off as the captured Steven subject? This thought sat well with Holly Blue as she chuckled to herself. Delightfully devilish, Holly Blue. The blue gem started to quietly move towards the zoo entrance when the door to the diamond's room opened up, revealing Yellow Diamond. The diamond was about to speak, but caught herself as she was looking at Holly Blue moving to the other door. She gave the gem an intense glare. "Yellow Diamond, I was just..." Holly Blue perked up at the sight of the large diamond in the doorway. She was struggling to find a quick explanation for her odd mid-lunge position. "Just stretching my legs here in the holding room. Isometric exercise. Care to join me?" Her words were fast, hoping to cover her lies and panic. The death stare from Yellow Diamond seemed to go right through Holly Blue's excuses. Whether she believed her or not, Yellow simply asked about the obvious issue in the holding cell. "Why does that holding cell look like it has been tampered with, Holly Blue?"
Who is Holly Blue? Is that Blue Diamond?
No.
Remember when they were at the space prison with all the humans and whatnot? Holly
Uh-huh.
Blue is that one with the tall boots.
I vaguely remember that. I'll look her up.
Hmm.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Oh, it's not tampered with. It been broken by a presentation, Steven, who I'll be bringing out after we finish our game of hide and seek. She stood at attention before the diamond with a nervous but wide smile. Without saying a word, Yellow Diamond returned to the previous room, leaving Holly Blue in the holding room by herself. Giving a quick sigh of relief, Holly Blue wiped her forehead in relief and entered Pink Diamond Zoo in a hurry. Several minutes later, Holly Blue returned, pushing a floating cart with a crate containing a human behind the bars. "Yellow Diamond, I hope you're ready for the presentation of the life form known as C10. "I thought you were presenting a life form known as Steven, Yellow recalled. "Oh no, I said C10. Holly Blue emphasized her speech to a different name. "That's what I call our captive subject here. You call this organism Steven C10.
Is this a freaking steamed hams?
It is.
Oh my god.
Yellow raised her eyebrow. "Yes, it's a regional dialect," the blue gem explained as
God,
she
I can't
motioned with
believe
her
this.
hand. The diamond squinted in disbelief. What region? The northern hemisphere of
This
Homeworld.
is way funnier with context.
Really? Yellow said in a more a statement than a question. Well, I'm from Capital, and I've never heard of any gem use the name C10. Oh, not in the Capital, no, it's a Northeastern Hemisphere expression, Holly Blue insisted. I see. Yellow Diamond still held doubt. Despite the oddness of Holly Blue Agate's behavior, Yellow Diamond took a look at the captive organism in the cage cart. The individual sitting inside was a human male that seemed to be content and not bothered by the giant woman who was examining him. You know, this Steven looks quite similar to the carbon-based life forms that occupied Pink Diamond Zoo here on this station, Yellow remarked as she looked closely at the individual's clothing. Holly Blue gave a hearty chuckle. Aha, that's the unique lifeform C10, one of a kind, that wears similar clothing. Yes. And you call them C10 despite the fact they are Steven and have almost identical clothing to the organisms in the zoo. Yellow pointed at the captive individual's clothing, particularly their earrings. Behind the blue gem in the other room, a faint simmering sound was audible. Holly Blue began to talk, but stopped herself. See, one thing With a calm but panicked tone, Holly Blue stood up. Excuse me for a second. Quickly, she entered the holding room, which was engulfed with flames.
Just imagine giant Yellow Diamond sitting down for the sitcom.
Yeah.
Sitting down at a giant dinner table.
Of course, Yellow mumbled. The blue gem returned from the burning room. The blue gem returned from the burning room with moments, giving a fake yawn. Oh, well, that was a wonderful presentation. A good time was had by all. I'm hooped. Yes, I should be. Yellow Diamond looked up to see smoke coming from the room behind Holly Blue Agate and quickly stood up, changing her tone to one of surprise. Oh my stars, what is happening in there? Without missing a beat, Holly Blue answered, Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis! Yellow raised her voice in both confusion and disbelief. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this substation satellite, localized entirely in your holding room. Her eyes narrowed in suspicion. Yes. Yellow was silent for a moment before asking a sincere follow-up question. May I see it? Holly Blue also paused for a second of thought before answering. No. The two
no to the gem. The diamond.
Saying no to the higher ups.
That's what Skinner did.
That's true. The two gems.
Superintendent Chalmers is basically
And it was
Yellow
in his
Diamond.
house.
This is Holly Blue's house.
This is my house, my diamond.
My diamond, my house. My rules.
You don't rule in here.
The two gems walked back to the ship hangar. Yellow stopped right at the edge of the ship's ramp and turned to face Holly Blue, who seemed to be in a slight hurry to end their meeting. Holly Blue, the station is on fire! The voice of an amethyst called out in panic. Both Yellow and Holly Blue turned to face the door of the hangar where the voice was coming from. No, 8XJ, it's just the cosmic lights, Holly Blue called back in a calm manner. Yellow Diamond brushed the call for help aside. Well, Holly Blue Agate, you are an odd gem, but I must say, you run a good satellite. She added a small smile at the end of her statement. As the Diamond turned around to walk up the ramp of her ship, the flames of the fire continued to spread, including to the hangar itself.
Help! Help! The amethysts continue to call out in horror, pleading for any help, while the other amethysts join in a frantic insanity within the flames. Yellow quickly turned around to look at the source. Instead, she saw Holly Blue giving her a big smile and thumbs up. The Diamond returned to walking to her ramp and boarded her ship. The end.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
I rate that story Aurora Borealis out of 10.
Rate that a C10 out of 10.
I rate that a bunch of steamed amethysts out of 10.
What a lovely Simpsons episode.
It's true,
There were a surprising lack of Simpsons fan fictions.
right?
I really felt
I
that.
thought there would be like thousands of crossovers, but I think there's only like 300-ish,
Yeah,
Yeah.
310 or something.
if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I assumed an IP as big as that would just have all sorts of great things like Evil Homer and whatnot.
Mm,
I mean, I guess with so much content on The Simpsons out there, there's really not much else to do.
true.
Yeah.
There was so many of the same author. He had like the same picture of a naked Homer, and they were all sexual and shit. It was so funny. There was one with the Grinch, and I was gonna do that one until it quickly spiraled into butt sex.
What's wrong with that?
no.
I don't want to do that on the podcast.
We've had worse.
You're right.
What was
you're
that
right.
one where Dante like broke glass into some girl's ass and then fucked her?
Started reading one. Like
Check
a-
out the Devil May Cry episode.
I think it was like a Sonic episode.
I don't think we haven't done a Sonic episode yet.
No, we haven't.
There
I've been specifically saving that for when Steven really deserves it. Because that will just destroy him.
That's true. That'll be a fun time.
I do like to cherry pick my Sonic crossovers though.
Speaking of which, George, it's your turn to pick the next topic.
You remembered.
What do you want to do?
I've been thinking about this for a long time now, mainly because I thought it was my turn to pick, and then I forgot that last time was Steven's turn. But I want to do Crash Bandicoot.
Whoa.
I love Crash Bandicoot so much, and I want to see all the hijinks he gets into.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to see all the extended lore in the Crash Bandicoot novels.
I want to see evil Crash Bandicoot.
That's the thing, though.
I know.
They already beat fanfiction to it.
I like that Crash doesn't talk, so I wonder what they're going to make him say. And
He's gonna talk in every single one.
Oh, yeah.
he's just going to have other people talk for him.
I want to do an entire Let's Play of Crash Twinsanity on the channel and never do Let's Plays again.
Just record the audio from that and upload it as a podcast.
The Crash Twinsanity Power Hour.
Just re-upload the game's music files.
Upload a 10-hour turnaround of a T-posing evil Crash.
Bro, Evil Coco, bro?
Evil Coco?
She was cut from the main game.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, like most things in Twinsanity. Twinsanity was the Sonic 06 of the franchise.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it got rushed out and was unfortunate because it had a lot of promise and a lot of really like interesting, cool ideas for Crash Bandicoot to go in, but it just failed, and then they had to do Crash of the Titans, and that was bad.
I was about to say, I thought like when they changed all the designs was when that happened, but
Yeah,
that's a shame.
Crash Twinsanity had all that potential, but it was really rushed, and that they weren't able to really finish it,
Right.
quote unquote. Which is a shame because I like that game a lot, but it is really broken and hard to play.
Is Crash of the Titans on Xbox 360 or Xbox?
Both, I think.
I think that when my friend got an Xbox 360, that was the first game we got and we didn't like it.
Just because it's very hard to play. Like,
Oh,
Steven, have you ever played it?
I have not.
It's a
no.
beat 'em up for one thing.
Yeah, really?
The beat 'em up aspects are very like annoying and long-winded. Then you just take control of monsters, which in theory sounds great, but they all have like one gimmick.
Right.
And, like, so it's basically just like one special power, and most of them are poorly programmed.
Ah, damn.
Which is a shame, because like I love Crash Bandicoot. I think it has great personality and could do lots more, but such is life. Anyway, we rambled on. We'll talk more about Crash Bandicoot next week. Tune into the next exciting episode of Warming the Bench with your host J-Dog, Big Head, and the Spoon. Play us out, Spoony.
I'm Dr. Insano. I invented blackface because it was funny.
No! Dr. Insano, you can't say that.
Truly, he was insane. This is why Spoony kept him locked up.
This is why Spoonie got locked up.
This is why Doug Walker tried to shoot Spoonie. For real, the nostalgia critic.
Watch Kick-Assia this Sunday.
Watch Kick-Assia, but not on the Guy with the Glasses website. Watch it on YouTube where he gets 0 revenue.
Watch on YouTube where you get even lower quality resolution.
Watch it on YouTube where you can download it and then stream it 24 hours on Twitch TV and get all the revenue.
Welcome to #Change the Channel Twitch account, where we watch Kick-Assia non-stop.
We upload all of Nostalgia Critics content onto the Artifact Twitch channel.
I heard Twitch found out about that, unfortunately.
Aww.
Yeah, but they won't care if we play some Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, it's not like it's porn or a box office movie. It's just Kick-Assia.
True. They'll think it's us.
They'll think it's the real Doug Walker.
Yeah,
And
because
then when he tries to say, when he tries to take it down, they'll say, "You want to take down what you put up? You can do it yourself."
You want to change the channel?
Yes.
You can do it yourself.
Doug, do you want to change the channel? Is that what this is about?
Number 3 on trending, Doug Walker changes the channel.
Finally, after all these years. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.